Hi, and welcome to this day-to-day operations tutorial for Accounting for Traders. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to enter your income and payments. Go to the Money Transactions menu and record income and expenses. Select the bank account that you wish to work on. Click on OK. Now you're presented with a grid of that cash book in that transaction period, that financial year, and that bank account. There are no entries, so let's add a new one. Now you can have a choice of payments or receipts, but we'll do a payment to start with. And we'll select today's date and note that the reference number has been incremented based on what we entered initially in the bank account data file. And we'll say $200 was spent at Bunnings on some materials. We need to save the primary record, or the parent record, which we've now done, and now we can do the general ledger allocations. So we select the ledger account, it was materials, and we tab across, put in $200, and now we need to save the record, or you can cancel it by clicking on the red X. But in this case, we'll save the record, and it gives us the option to add additional allocations if we required. We now save the total record, and you'll find that it's now in the grid as a payment. Just as a note, this little icon here, when you click on it, gives you the journal entry for that particular transaction. So you can see that it's balanced, and $181 went to materials, $18 to the GST control account, and $200 came out of the bank account. Let's now add a receipt. This time select receipt, and you'll notice that that reference number has incremented by 1 based on what we had in the bank account record. This time we'll say $300 was received from Mr. Brown, and you can put a description if you want down there. Again, we need to add that parent record, and now we can put in the general ledger allocation. Now note the difference between payments and receipts has an invoice column, and we'll discuss that in a moment. But let's add a new general ledger allocation, and we'll say it was sales of materials. Again, you can tag across and put in $300, which then calculates the GST and the net amount. You can write notes. Now you can select an invoice to offset this receipt against, but at this stage we haven't yet added an invoice, but that's where you can allocate it to an invoice at the appropriate time. So we'll click on save, and our transaction has come back. Now I did make one deliberate error there just to show you this feature. If the journal entry is not balanced, and you can see there is no journal entry because we forgot to save the general ledger allocation. If you see an entry with a red background, it means there is an error, and you need to go and edit that transaction by clicking on that green button. And you see we didn't save the allocation, so let's go and do that properly now. Materials, tab across, $300, and this time save. And now when you click save for the total record, you now see that that error color has now disappeared. So now we have one payment and we have one receipt. That concludes this tutorial.